You played high school football. You're a Cowboy fan. Dak Prescott is going to start again this week. They've won 7 in a row. I know you're happy about that.
Very.
Do you think we see Tony Romo again this year?
You know, what's amazing is that I was doing a radio tour about 3 weeks ago, and they, you know, however they connect you. The first question, it was the Tri-City area in Washington State. I don't even know where that is. I don't know a name. I don't even know a name of one of those Tri-Cities. I didn't know anything about it. The first question, and it was supposed to be about divorce and about television, HBO, and Sarah Jessica Parker. The first question this guy, it wasn't a sports show. The first question, he goes, Dak Romo, where are you standing? Where are you on Dak? And I'm like, I love that's the national debate now. And it's not, wow, how bad are the Cowboys going to suck this week, which is what we were talking about a year ago. I am a huge Texas A&M fan. Huge Texas A&M fan. I watched Dak Prescott play for 4 seasons.
But you never thought he'd be this good, did you?
And I was just telling your producer, and I was just talking about this backstage. Watching his poise at Mississippi State, you got to remember 2 years ago, this guy was a starting quarterback of the number 1 team in the nation. Mississippi State was briefly, for about 2 weeks, they were number 1 team in the nation. They were undefeated, and Dak was their starting quarterback. That's when I really started noticing him. But when he got into that, what was it, 52-49 gunfight with Manziel, right, the year that Manziel won the Heisman, Dak Prescott was there every step of the way with Johnny Manziel. I mean, I thought this guy's amazing. And I was talking about it backstage, whether he's out of the shotgun, because he comes out of the spread at Mississippi State, but whether he is in the shotgun or he drops back and he steps up in the pocket or he just does a 3 or 5 step drop, and he will, as a rookie quarterback, he stays in the pocket, and it's his last option to swing the pass out or to run. And I love that about him, the poise and the confidence. Of course, the line's, you know, it is what it is. But the poise and the confidence to go through those progressions, to find somebody, obviously before Dez, he wasn't looking too far downfield. I'm saying all the same things that all the sports guys are saying, but I just love the confidence.
You're a sports guy. Come on.
I love the confidence that he has, particularly in the pocket, because he was never a pocket passer. Never.
So he's staying in, right?
You know what? I think that Romo is for a starting quarterback in the NFL, I think Romo is one of the guys that has his ego the most under control. And I think that Romo is a team guy. I think Romo is going to do what's best for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think he's going to think it's Dak Prescott. And
talking to Thomas Haden Church here from the new HBO show Divorce, and also a huge Cowboy fan. I'm with you. I think look, you can't bench a quarterback who's won 7 games in a row. You can't do that. But to have Tony Romo in your back pocket, if and when an injury happens, which basically they're inevitable at some point, right, whether it's a sprained ankle for a quarter or something more significant, which we certainly hope it isn't, to have Tony Romo standing there ready, that's an amazing luxury.
Yes. And I was glad that they got Sanchez in there a little bit against, unfortunately, the hapless Cleveland Browns. I feel bad for those guys. But I just hate seeing teams get that demoralized. But going back to the Cowboys, because I was talking about, and his name is absolutely out of my mind, Michael on Good Morning America.
Strahan?
Michael Strahan. I was talking to Michael Strahan about this. And Michael Strahan said to me, you know what, it would be the locker room that suffers the most. The team, he felt, if they took Dak out when he was winning and put Tony Romo in or anybody else in, you know, but Tony Romo obviously the chief individual or chief candidate for that. But he was like, I just think it would be demoralizing for the team that you have this great young energy, and with Ezekiel Elliott, you have these 2 guys that are bringing such a positive momentum to the offense.
And they keep on winning. And if and when, and I think they will, they beat the Steelers this week. They're 8-1.
This is a tough test.
It's a tough test. He's passed every test. If he could win in Lambeau, I think he could win at Heinz Field. Granted, they're human. They're going to have to lose again, I think, at some point this year. I think the question becomes is when that bad game happens,
right,
which also is inevitable, then what? And do they panic and go back to
I don't think they'll panic.
Romo?
I think that Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan, I think, look, you're saying it. You're saying that is inevitable. It could happen against the Steelers defense. It could happen against I don't know, the Vikings defense. It could happen against, because they have the Steelers on the road, the Vikings on the road. I think they get the Ravens in Arlington. But, let's face it, most NFL teams have pretty good defenses. Some, Browns, maybe they're giving up a lot of
points.
Not
25 points a game.
Yeah, but my point is that it is inevitable that Dak is going to stumble. I mean, he almost did against the Eagles. He didn't have a great 3.5 quarters. The last 6 minutes and overtime, he played lights out. So I think, to me, you have a bad game, you got to stay with him because I think he's demonstrated the ability to bounce back.
So cool that you're that big of a fan. Thomas Haden Church here, huge Cowboy fan. We're on the same page. It's Dak or bust, and then you have Tony Romo waiting in your back pocket.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.